Germany's beautiful scenery, big cities, romantic palaces, half-timbered towns will take you on a roller coaster of feasts, treats, and temptations. You can find history in towns, where the streets were built before Columbus set sail, and in castles that tower over the ancient villages with flower boxes full of red geraniums. Everywhere you go, classic Romanesque, Gothic, and Baroque styles rub shoulders with the work of the modern masters. Here are the top 10 places you should see when you go to Germany. However, before we start our countdown, we should greatly appreciate it if you would subscribe to our YouTube channel and also press the bell icon. Let's get started. Number 10. The Zugspitze. Take a journey to the lofty peak of the Zugspitze if you want to get a feel for what it's like to be on the top of the world, or at least Germany. And you won't be disappointed. The highest point of this mountain range in all of the Germany is 2,962 meters above the sea level. It's situated on the border between Austria and Germany. More than 400 mountains located in a number of different countries can be seen from this vantage point. The mountain is encircled by valleys that are very steep. Number 9. Rothenburg ob der Tauber. When you visit the dreamy German town of the Rothenburg ob der Tauber, you might feel like you have stepped into your favorite childhood fairy tale. The town is known for its beautiful medieval architecture. It's in the Bavarian region of the Franconia, on the popular Romantic Road. In the old town, which looks out over the Tauber River, the streets are made of the cobblestones and are lined with half-timbered homes. As you walk along the town walls and through this charming area, you will see old medieval churches and museums, as well as gatehouses and towers that have been kept. Number 8. Lake Constance. Lake Constance is still one of the most popular vacation spots in Germany, and for good reason. It's on the border of Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. Its main appeal is that it can be used in many different ways, so there is something for everyone. On the islands and in the natural reserves, there is a lot to see for people who like nature. For those interested in culture, the cities of the Constance, Lindau, Oberlinken, and Friedrichshafen around the lake have a lot to offer. People who like sports can choose from a wide range of water and land activities, like sailing, windsurfing, canoeing, or swimming at one of the many sand and pebble beaches. They can also get in a boat and go to one of the beautiful islands in the lake. Number 7. Munich. Munich, the capital of the Bavaria, is without a doubt one of the most cosmopolitan places to visit in Germany. There are lots of bars, restaurants, churches, and of course, beer gardens in Munich. But Oktoberfest, the largest beer festival in the world, is what really puts the city on the map. It takes place there every fall. More than 6 million people from all over the world come to the Munich for the 18-day festival, which features live music, amusement rides, games, and of course, Lederhosen. Given how popular the festival is, though, it's important to book early because Munich becomes one of the most visited cities in Germany during this time. Number 6. The Upper Mittelrhine Valley. The Upper Rhine Valley is in France, Germany, and Switzerland. It shows off the best of what these three countries have to offer. Part of the region was named a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2002, and it's easy to see why. It has beautiful castles on hilltops, charming old towns, and beautiful terraced vineyards. Many poets, painters, and composers have been moved by the natural scenery along the Rhine over the past 200 years, and it's easy to see why. Number 5. Bayreuth. The world-famous Richard Wagner Festival is held every year in the town of the Bayreuth in northern Bavaria. The popular event which honors the German-born composer, turns the town into a place where opera fans want to be. But even if you don't like opera, you will be blown away by the interior of the Margraville Opera House, which was built in the 1800s. This building is a masterpiece of Baroque theater architecture and is on the list of the UNESCO World Heritage Sites. It has room for 500 people, who often come to see real Baroque court opera. Aside from this beautiful landmark, Beirut has a lot of history and culture to offer. This is clear from the wide range of the cultural attractions it has. There are more than 24 museums and other places to visit, as well as a number of the grand historical buildings and castles that were built by the margraves of the Beirut. Number 4. Cologne. The skyline of Cologne is dominated by the famous Cologne Cathedral, which is the best example of the Gothic architecture. The towering UNESCO World Heritage Site is also home to the Etonian Giro Cross, which is the largest sculpture of the Christ on the cross north of the Alps and the oldest one. But the city has a lot more to offer than this epic landmark. It has great museums, restaurants, bars, and most importantly, chocolate. If you really like sweets, you will love going to the Chocolate Museum in the Cologne. This 4,000 square meter chocolate wonderland has 9 exhibition areas that teach you all about the culture and history of chocolate, which goes back 3,000 years to the Mayans and Aztecs. 2 Kolsch glasses in Cologne. There are more than 2,000 things to see, like a 3-meter high chocolate fountain that you can dip a waffle into. From the 30-meter long panoramic window in the museum cafe, you can also see the Rhine in all its beauty. Number 3. Schloss Neuschwanstein. Getting back to the Sleeping Beauty, Germany is also home to the castle that Walt Disney used as model for the Sleeping Beauty castle at the Disneyland. Schloss Neuschwanstein is a castle in the Bavarian Alps. It's the most famous fairy tale castle in Europe and one of the most visited places in Germany. Ludwig II of the Bavaria built this beautiful palace just for fun in 1869. It's known for its elegant spires that stick up from the treetops. Neuschwanstein Castle is surrounded by snowy mountains. No matter how old you are, exploring the beautiful castle will likely make your mind run wild, especially when you find a magical grotto and a throne room with a huge crown-shaped chandelier. The good news is that if you don't want to walk uphill for 30 minutes, you can always hope on a charming horse-drawn carriage and ride to the top. Now, that's how you treat a king or queen. You can also visit the large Schloss Hohenschwangau, the Schloss Herrenchiemsee, and the Schloss Linderhof, which were built by the King Ludwig in Bavaria. Number 2. Black Forest. Most likely, you heard at least 1 or 2 Brothers Grimm fairy tales when you were a child. So, why not go to the magical land that Hansel and Gretel, Rapunzel, and Sleeping Beauty are said to have been based on? The Black Forest is a beautiful area of the Germany's southwest that borders France and has an area of 11,100 square kilometers. It's a great place to get back to nature, whether you want to walk, ride a bike, ride a horse. It's known for its dense, evergreen forests and beautiful lakes and waterfalls. There are also a number of the pretty villages in the area. One of these is Baden-Baden, a spa town that has been around for more than 2,000 years and is known all over the world. Back then, Romans came to bath in the thermal springs, which were good for their health. At the turn of the 19th century, these places became the summer homes of the wealthy in Europe. The mineral-enriched waters continue to bubble up from the 12 thermal springs for today's visitors. You might also need to rest your bones if you decide to climb Feldberg, which at 1,493 meters is Germany's tallest mountain outside of the Alps? Number 1. Berlin. Germany's capital is the place where all the coolest art, fashion, music, and design are made. It's also a very exciting place to live. Berlin is full of beautiful buildings and there are lots of fun things to do there. There are lots of museums, art galleries, flea markets, trendy restaurants, and bars. Berlin is also home to a number of the important landmarks and historical sites. Some of these are the Brandenburg Gate, the Jewish Museum, Checkpoint Charlie, and the Berlin Wall. Museum Island, which has five of the Berlin's most important museums and is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is another must-see because there is so much to see and do. You might want to spend the whole weekend there. In Berlin's lively neighborhoods, there are a lot of hotels and B&Bs to choose from. That's it for today. We hope you found our video interesting. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up and share it with others. Also, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to our channel. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our new uploads. In the end, thanks for watching and see you next time.